Grippy, clear, tough, Apple, and sexy ass leather cases. Here's 10 of the best cases for the iPhone 8 and, well, 7 too. So let's check it out. The Spigen Thin Fit is my daily driver since I found it. The best slim case for any device in my opinion. It's a hard shell case and one of the slimmest you'll find, but its exterior finish is what wins my heart. It's smooth and comfortable with a soft but grippy texture, almost like it's sticky, but not really. It makes holding such a large device a pleasurable experience. I could rub this thing all day. Unfortunately, the downside of such a slim design is you compromise on protection. Throw it onto a table and you'll be okay, but don't count on this if you tend to drop everything you touch. My runner-up though is an even thinner case. The Totally case is 1/3 of an inch thick, which means it's a very flimsy case, aka don't expect any sort of drop protection from this. But if you're a true minimalist and you want to keep your iPhone scratch free, this is the case for you. It really does feel like nothing is on, and it looks like you've just given your iPhone a new skin color. There's a translucent finish on it with the Apple logo shining through, and all the buttons are cut out to avoid adding any further bulk. And just an FYI, this is the iPhone 7 case on the 8, hence the slight misalignment. It's not the grippiest case, but it's not what you're buying it for. This offers nothing but scratch protection, and for a lot of you, that's more than enough. Now, I will admit the case itself does scratch up fairly easy, but just don't go crazy on it like I do. And due to the nothingness of this case, try not to drop it. Next, there are a lot of clear cases available, but the Ultra Hybrid wins my vote for being affordable while offering a clean design. It adds a little thickness, but barely any bulk, while the raised corners help keep your clear back and camera from scratching up on surfaces. The buttons are responsive, and there are air pocket corners to keep you covered on light drops. Like any clear case though, the clear back will smudge up fairly easily if you're a hand sweater. There's no getting around that one. The GHOSTEK Clear 3 is my runner-up though, thanks to its grippy and textured edge design. The black polycarbonate has a soft rubber finish similar to the Thin Fit, making one-handed usage bearable on the Plus model, while the studded texture patterns allow your finger to grasp onto something confidently. The buttons are clicky and the case can take a light drop with ease, and it doesn't bulk up but does have a decent lip around the screen for tabletop coverage. If you got butterfingers but want to show off, this is the one to go with. Horween leather is my favorite leather, so it's no surprise the Nomad clear case makes it in again as the best leather case. You really have to feel and smell the freshness to appreciate it. Although only just half of it is covered in it, the hard clear portion cuts off right at the Apple logo. Of course, our favorite logo to look at. I personally think it's a clean contrast between natural material and the machine it encloses. Most importantly, the leather section is where your palm generally rests, which will allow for the oils from your hands to give the leather a really aged patina look over time. And yes, it will scratch and mark up during usage, but just let it happen because that's what makes it look unique. The case adds a little bulk and thickness throughout from the rubber shell around it, but it offers a lip to keep your screen clear from surfaces, and there's no specific impact absorption features inside the case otherwise, but it is lined in a felt-like material that your iPhone will sure appreciate. Again, it'll handle light drops, but by no means is it a tough case. If you really love that Horween leather goodness, the Nomad leather case is my runner-up. It's a fully wrapped shell with that Horween leather and nothing else gets in the way of that. I wish the buttons were a little more responsive. There's a cutout for the camera and a larger space for the lightning jack, but this full leather case is just to be admired, and at the same time, don't be afraid to use it. Again, scratches, scuffs, and wear will patina the leather nicely. It's not a thick case, but it still offers a slight lip around the screen. The leather is not the grippiest thing to hold either, but that's the trade-off with leather. It'll do fine with light drops, which will add to the rugged look of it, but it lacks any sort of impact absorption. The Neo Hybrid Herringbone is basically the Neo Hybrid series with a new pattern design. Herringbone. This wavy pattern splashed all across the back portrays a sense of maturity and sophistication, while the polycarbonate shell around it has a soft touch finish for making gripping one-handed fairly pleasing. The buttons are raised and responsive with cutouts for ports along the bottom and around back for the camera. The dual polycarbonate and rubber design offers slightly more protection than the previous cases, but it's got a fairly thick lip to keep your screen raised up, and it'll handle day-to-day abuse just fine. It sorta looks like your iPhone is wearing an old twill suit. If you're looking for that badass look though, UAG has been my favorite in terms of an industrial style. The raised ridges and fake bolts look like my iPhone is a transformer, something I'm totally cool with. A plastic and rubber combo, the buttons are flat but have a textured finish to find them, and the sides have these raised sections to allow your fingers to grasp onto something during usage. Cutouts are at the bottom, and yes, that's a headphone jack cutout, another thick lip for your screen, and a very padded corner design that can take quite a beating. If you're into that industrial look, this is a no-brainer. For you complete butterfingers out there, the SPECK PRESIDIO grip is a must. The patterned rubber on the back is designed specifically so you have no excuse to drop your iPhone. Holding it in the hand though is something you can't experience with any other case, as each rubber ridge is something for your fingers to grasp onto. And the rubber is designed so it sits within your fingers and palms while looking fairly cool in my opinion. It makes maneuvering one-handed around a large or smaller iPhone a breeze. I call it proactive protection because it prevents you from dropping it in the first place instead of only protecting you when it does. You're basically paying for this right here, and if you drop everything you touch, it's a must-have case. The thick rubber lip around the screen is just an added bonus. A new case I recently discovered is from Lander, and their MOAB case is my runner-up grip case, which is all thanks to this lanyard attachment. It's a much more direct approach to preventing drops, as it almost never allows for one if you use it properly. It's made of a soft matte rubber texture that's fairly smooth but feels so good to hold, and these minor indents along the edge for a little more grip. It's this dedicated lanyard attachment that'll keep you completely safe though. I'm not a huge fan of the button covers as they're recessed and can be difficult to reach, but there is a fair sized lip around the screen if you ever lay it down screen first. If you happen to not be wearing a lanyard though, the case is lined with quite a few air pockets and a unique thermal lined back that prevents your phone from getting too hot or too cold from the environment it's in. Basically, snow and fire ain't got nothing on this case. This is the case I use for my merch, and for good reason. The PLAYPROOF case has withstood so much impact during my testing of it. It's my go-to when I need a fairly slim and protective case to use. Responsive buttons and cutouts throughout the bottom, the case is designed to take a beating. Combined with the thick lip around the screen, your iPhone is protected without bulking up. They offer several designs and colors as well, and they all offer just as much protection. The OTTERBOX Pursuit is my runner-up because although a tank of a case, it costs a pretty penny. It promises a complete seal from the outside world, which I found to be true in my review of it. It has clicky buttons and one of the thickest bezels available, all without bulking out the case too much. Each tooth within the case clamps the two pieces shut to keep a sealed finish, with port plugs and covers throughout the rest of it. It can take a beating similar to the OTTERBOX Defender series, but built into the size of the Commuter series. So if you've got the cash, it does what it says it'll do. For those who like their case to do more, the new RHINOSHIELD mod series is my favorite thanks to the amount of customization available. You can go from a simple bumper case or swap into a full backplate. This is basically their PLAYPROOF case and crash guard bumper combined into one. One day you may want to cover up, and the next day you can use the same case to show off the beautiful Apple logo. The best part is it's still got that extensive level of protection we saw in the PLAYPROOF series thanks to that hexagon patterned interior designed to withstand up to 11-foot drops, which I can confidently say I agree with from my tests. There's a thick lip around the screen for that extra level of coverage, but the real greatness of the case is the ability to be a completely new case on a day-to-day basis. Its modularity doesn't stop there though. Their first mod attachment is a lens mount. It works for the PLAYPROOF series as well and allows you to attach any of their 4 lenses to get a new camera angle while staying protected. The OTTERBOX Universe case is my runner-up for not being fully customizable, but offering a large range of attachments to choose from. I've got the Mophie battery attachment that offers an additional 2500 milliamps of charge, and the hardshell wallet option able to hold 2 or 3 cards and a bill. Accessing them is simply popping it off and back on when done. The hardshell wallet offers complete protection for your iPhone, even giving it some additional padding for your camera lens. And of course the typical thick bezel we see in all OTTERBOX cases. The bottom is cut out to accommodate for attachments that may require the lightning port, but overall is a fairly sturdy case. The Mophie battery attachment is great to have at the end of the day to feel right back up. It does stick out and bulk up the case, but having a battery attached means it's not sliding around and worrying about extra wires. The best part is when you're all charged up, just take it off and you're back to a slim protective case, very similar to the Symmetry series that, you guessed it, can take quite a beating as well. Yeah, even with an attachment on. For those who want to cut out carrying more, a card case is your best bet to ditch the wallet. My favorite goes to the Silk Vault wallet case, a flexible one-piece TPU design. I love it for the matte finish and more importantly a very affordable price point, and the edges are textured, making for a comfortable grip. This may look like another popular case from SPECK, which is also an amazing option if you prefer a hard shell design, but it is at a much higher price point. This case can easily fit 3 cards with a notch cutout to help with easy access to them, and although the whole case is fairly flexible, it holds the cards in without any issues while still being easily accessible when needed. There is some flex to the pocket so you can add an extra card or even a bill, but it may start to bend, but it's possible. The textured edges make a huge difference when you're adding so much bulk to the case, and there's also a decent lip around the screen. Combine that with the bulk of the cards, it acts as an impact cushion for your iPhone, and included free with the case is a screen protector. Nothing special, but given it's free at this price point, it's great to keep your screen scratch free. Now you will feel the bulk of the cards, but thankfully it doesn't interfere with wireless charging, although it may demagnetize your cards, so you've been warned. The BELLROY 3 card case is much more expensive because you're paying for the leather and attention to detail. With many pockets inside the case to store an additional SIM card when traveling, I'm a fan of this one as it completely conceals your cards. The magnetic door enclosure is also a smart choice as it closes on its own and is easily accessible when required. The case does bulk up to accommodate the 3 additional cards, and it doesn't have a great lip like the other cases we've seen. The recess buttons also aren't the easiest to reach, but I can't get over how clever this door and card pocket design is. Plus, it's also wireless charging compatible. If you're looking for a full coverage folio wallet though, the new 12 self journal case just screams leather and folio. A fairly thick and stiff case, it's designed, well, like an old-fashioned journal. Leather is wrapped around the whole case, it's a beautiful sight to look at, there's a stiff spine like a regular book, and it will wear and patina nicely over time from usage as well. The wallet portion offers 4 quick card slots and a side pocket for extra cards or flat objects. Of course, packing that all in makes for quite a large case with the thick leather, but over time should flatten out once the leather breaks in from usage. If you have a thing for old leather bound books, this is the closest modern day version you'll get. As a bonus, the case does double as a stand for all your viewing pleasures. For the amount of leather you get, it's not unreasonably priced as well. Usage can be finicky though, as you have to manage so much case in your hand, but folding it all the way back works best. As it breaks in, it will become easier to do so, and yes, it still works with wireless charging. The runner-up Tech 21 Evo wallet doesn't have as many pockets, but it does have something most other folios don't, a locking mechanism. And yeah, it works really well. The inside is lined in a soft fabric, but is also double walled, able to hold a single card on each side. That may not be a lot, but I personally like it as it doesn't allow you to bulk out the case any more than it should. The second cover also acts as a privacy piece, hiding your cards from prying eyes. When packed and locked in though, you don't feel your typical folio bulkiness, and you can even leave it locked while taking a call so your cover is not flapping around. And the best part is, by locking it, you get complete 360 degrees of coverage that actually stays in place. The case also features several air pockets to absorb impact, and the lock won't fly open on its own unless you want it to. Unlocking is fairly easy and one-handed usage is bearable since you're not dealing with so many cards now. The case itself has clicky and responsive buttons, and overall it's just a thoughtfully designed case if you don't need that many cards. Lastly, one of my favorite types of cases is battery cases, and the best goes to the one and only Apple. The silicone exterior feels very comfortable to hold, and if you can get over the design of the hump, it's actually what the name says it is, smart, as I use the hump to allow my finger to grasp onto and maneuver the phone with. The interior is lined in a soft microfiber as we see in all Apple cases, and installation is simply sliding it in from the top. Now this is designed for the iPhone 7 case. They didn't make one for the 8 as it won't work with wireless charging, but the 7 model fits the 8 without an issue. It conveniently takes a lightning cable, so no extra cables to carry around, and there aren't any buttons to worry about because it's always just charging your phone. The only status you have is through your phone's battery widget. I don't have to worry about remembering to turn the case on when my phone is about to die. It just continuously keeps my phone going until its own battery drains out. My runner-up is the Moment battery photo case because it's the closest thing we have to an Apple battery case for the Plus model. It has a soft touch rubber finish and also takes a lightning cable. The grippy exterior finish compensates for how large this case actually feels, but the idea of this case is around its lens mount, as Moment is a lens company and some of the best I've tested too. It locks in tightly, and combined with the built-in battery, it allows you to shoot all day without having to worry about it dying on you. And my favorite feature, the case has a built-in shutter button. Yeah, it's that dedicated to the perfect shot. Like the Apple case, it's also controlled through software, and they have a camera app that allows you to control pretty much everything. This whole combo makes your iPhone feel like a high-end camera, although the trade-off is quite a thick case that lacks any lip around the screen, as that would make it even thicker.
Links to every case mentioned today in the description below. The RHINOSHIELD PLAYPROOF case has never let me down, hence why I've collaborated with them on my own line of merch cases. But of course, the Spigen Thin Fit has a special place in my heart for its grippy feel. That's it. If you love what you see and want to support me in creating more reviews, check out my new store linked below for accessorized merchandise like this hat and shirt, along with old accessories I no longer use and you can pick up at a bargain price. Oh, and don't forget my RHINOSHIELD Playproof cases. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment below letting me know what case you want me to review next. I rest my cases.